Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is funding Canada's SPLC and other busybodies to paint his political enemies as racist extremists. What could possibly go wrong? The federal government, through the Department of Canadian Heritage, is giving grants to a series of online tattletales and professional scolds to monitor private citizens for wrongthink. And friends, I do really mean wrongthink here and not racism. And one of these groups basically admit as much when they brag about who and what they got canceled. Now here is the first grant. Organization, Brandon University. Title, Viral Vitriol, ? Using online platforms to promote peace. Description, the project will create a series of videos that feature microaggressions, systemic racism, systemic privilege, and other subtler forms of racism and discrimination, such as unconscious bias, and will highlight the disparities experienced by racialized individuals compared to non-racialized individuals. Funding amount, $105,497. Now here's the next big handout. This grant went to people who actively campaigned against the Conservatives, calling themselves the resistance to and the worst nightmare of then Conservative leader Andrew Scheer in the last federal election campaign. Organization, Unifor. Title, Action on Equity, Promoting Racial Justice in the Union and Workplace. Description, the project will address systemic barriers to employment for their members through hosting forums focused on anti-racism, reviewing best practices, developing tools and strategies. Funding amount, $147,083. Now let's think about this for a second. Justin Trudeau is giving $150,000 of your money to the resistance to the Conservatives to ostensibly label Conservatives in the workplace as racist. And the Heritage Minister, well, he can't stop sucking up to Unifor, putting Unifor on the media bailout panel to decide which media companies get a Justin Trudeau handout. Now, this last grant, it's the largest one, probably the craziest one. Organization, Canadian Anti-Hate Network. Title, Containing and Countering Canadian Hate Groups. Description, this project will increase the organization's capacity to counter online hate by hiring 4 team members to carry out the monitoring of extreme right groups, report on their activities, and file complaints with law enforcement. It will educate the public as to these groups and the damage they create, and will share information through its Facebook and Twitter followers. Funding amount, $268,400. Now, sounds benevolent, right? The Anti-Hate Network. No sane Canadian is pro-hate. But much like dictatorships that put People's Republic or Democratic Republic in the official names of their failed states, the Anti-Hate Network is a bit of an Orwellian misnomer because they're pro-hate for people who don't share their far left-wing political ideology, and Justin Trudeau just gave them over $250,000, a bunch of random far left-wing nut bars with no vetting to harass and stalk citizens online. Again, what could possibly go wrong here? Now, here's where it becomes perfectly clear that this enormous grant is not, nor has it ever been, about fighting real racism, which is awful, which sane people know it's a bad thing to judge a person by the color of their skin and not the content of their character. This funding is about weaponizing and diminishing the word racism to mean shut up when it's leveled at those with whom you politically disagree. The Anti-Hate Network, right on their website, has a blog where someone brags about getting an art gallery to cancel an event. Was it a Nazi rally? A white supremacist bruncheon? I'd want that canceled too, but no, it was a People's Party of Canada fundraiser. Look at this. We convinced an art gallery to cancel a People's Party of Canada event in Winnipeg. You can too, with a little persistence and the help of an informed and supportive community. Now, to be clear, a private Winnipeg art gallery breached their contract with the PPC after an intense pressure campaign from people linked to the Anti-Hate Network. The person who organized the pressure campaign and then bragged about it in a blog on the Anti-Hate Network website? Just look at this. Omar Kinarath is an anti-fascist activist and organizer with FF1, an organization that monitors, exposes, and organizes against far-right activity in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now, what's FF1? Well, that's Antifa Winnipeg. They're not hiding it. They're not even trying. Look at that symbol. The Anti-Hate Network advocates teaming up directly with Antifa. No word of a lie. Again, it's right on the Anti-Hate Network website under the section Get Involved. Look at this. If you can't get the event canceled, the best way to disrupt and demoralize hate groups is to participate in a counter demonstration with a coalition of anti-fascist and anti-racist community groups that use direct but non-violent tactics and massively outnumber the hate groups and their supporters. We do not organize demonstrations, so we encourage you to find and connect with your local organizations. Again, let's just stop for a minute to digest all of this. Justin Trudeau gave over $250,000 for Antifa and friends of Antifa to file police reports and monitor people online and harass them and bully them out of contracts. Now, I've got a different view of this country, my problems with Canadian Confederation aside. Canada's a pretty great place. It's never been more tolerant, no matter what Justin Trudeau is trying to pay people to insist about Canada. The most recent Statistics Canada survey of police-reported hate crimes happily reveals a substantial year-over-year decline in hate crimes. The facts aren't working out for Trudeau. And really, what kind of prime minister pays people to call this country a terrible place to be? For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Now, unlike the people who would like for us to just shut up and go away forever, we'll never take a penny from Justin Trudeau. It means, though, that we have to rely on the support of people like you at home to keep going and to keep telling the other side of the story. One of the best ways to do that, though, doesn't actually cost you a dime. Just like and share this story. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and ring the little bell so that you never miss a video. And if you'd like to go just one step further, do consider becoming a subscriber to Rebel News Plus. That's what we call our long-form TV-style shows here on Rebel News. Just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe to join today.